Islam, and we are here, we are here. Islam, Islam, Islam. We are here, we are here, we are here. Islam, y'all. And welcome to Parts of Publishing, an ongoing series presented by myself, Sister Zahra, for the benefit of the Moorish nation. But, I'm not, it's not exclusive, but I'm doing this for my people because I love my people. I rise giving praise to the great God Allah and honors to the forerunner, Marcus Messiah Garvey, and honors to the holy prophet in these days, Noble Drew Ali. I'm pre-recording these presentations because my internet connection is trash. Although I do enjoy the candid aspect of filming, so I'm still just going to try to, Allah willing, try to get this, all recorded in one rip. So it's live, but it's also recorded as well. So Allah willing, this goes well. It's long. All right, next slide. Okay. All right. So who am I? I had to find a better picture than that. I am Sister Tahida S. Najil. Please call me Zahra. Long story. I'm the managing editor of Califa Media Publishing since 2014. I wrote and published my first book in the second grade. It was about kangaroos. If you want the full story, it's on the first video for this series. The introduction to parts of publishing, constructing a book. Islam. So I'm a graduate of Arizona State University with a bachelor's of interdisciplinary studies in Asian history and elementary education, with a certification in Asian Pacific American Studies. So I like to teach, I like to write, I like to research. I also like to share. I guess that goes in with teaching, right? I audited a course in paralegal studies at Roosevelt University. Another story that's on the previous video. And I'm currently still the managing editor for Califa Media Publishing. And I'm also the Secretary Treasurer for Mercy Charities Incorporated. Find more information about Mercy Charities at mrcicharities.org. And you can find all my other spaces at linktree/Califa Media. Please excuse the noise in the background. Islam. Alright. Oh, I keep forgetting that this has an animation to it. Let's see what it does. CalifaMedia.com, yes, mercycharities.org. Purplepaperclip.com is a news site, Islam. And all of my links can be found at linktree/Califa Media. All right. So, recap. What is Parts of Publishing, this series? It's another aspect, my small contribution to the Moorish Renaissance in America, all right, via the printed word. So I'm attempting to encourage Moors to exploit their personal genius. We're supposed to study. So what you can only be, are you going to be a consumer forever? Eventually you have to be a producer, or you go from being a consumer to a parasite. All right. So this is an effort. Parts of Publishing is an effort to encourage Moors to begin writing. And if you don't want to do that aspect, there's the background work. There's the editing, the layout, the design, right? The promotion, all of that good stuff, right? So, yes. So I'm invoking the spirit of Noble Drew Ali, particularly the part where he removed all excuses. And I know this is not an excuse for all, just making mention of it in case it's an excuse for any. And this increase, not this lesson, is limited to drafting of research papers and manuscripts for nonfiction only. This probably won't work for fiction unless it's like some historical fiction. Islam. So I had the idea. Allah is the greatest, There are no coincidences, right? So, as I mentioned in the last one, if you didn't have a chance to check that one out yet, a brother got in touch with me saying, I want to write a book. Where do I even start? Islam. So I'm like, okay, that's my cue to just put it in a recording so you don't have to remember what I said and others can benefit from what I said. All right. So I'm currently in the process of constructing a book, right? It's a book about turbans. All right. So gratitude to Kush Day again. I'm just gonna say shout him out. Gratitude to Kush Day for his question as far as where to start. So this is gonna be a free gem to the studious because you never know where a question can lead. So you may want to go ahead and ask it. So yeah, thank you to you for that. Okay, so choosing a topic. So part one was just the introduction where I listed everything that I'm going to be going through. So this is part two, choosing a topic. All right. So choosing a topic is important because your outline is going to follow your topic. All right. And your topic may change as you progress through your outline. All right. So it's important to remain flexible. I put change in quotations because it's not the topic that will change. It's more how you approach the topic that you've narrowed in on, how that will change. And I'll give you all examples as we go along. Let's see. So choosing the topic. Back to the stacks. Allah's the greatest. I might keep saying that as I go through this because I put the title of this slide as back to the stacks because I recorded the introduction to this series a week ago. All right. And I was preparing for the recording yesterday. And as I was preparing for it, I got a call from the Moor who inspired the whole thing in the first place, Kush Day. Right? He said he had a bright idea and he broke it down and he was just like, how do I start? So again, so it came up back to the stacks and we went in on it, right? We had a wonderful build for 19 minutes and 19 seconds. I got a picture of it. I got a receipt. So the key points that I can recall from that conversation, because you know how it is, we have so many building conversations. If you're an active more, that everything kind of melds together. You don't forget, you just forget necessarily forget what it is. You forget where you heard it or who you were talking to. So the key points I remember were, what have you been reading, right? What is it you simply must talk about? And if you have notes, where are they leading you? So to go into that, okay, so what have you been reading? Probably a lot, right? More. Probably too much for one book, all right? And it doesn't, when I say reading, please don't think this is limited to literature. This could be you researching fashion, which I'm actually doing right now. This could be you researching presence throughout time, which I'm doing right now. And that could be doing that by looking through portraits and photographs, right? So don't think that I'm just speaking of literature when I say go to your notes, all right? In Kush Day's example, he has videos, lots and lots of videos. So he might want to start organizing those videos into separate categories. And he's building his outline while he's doing that, right? But those separate categories, he's going to find a pattern and be like, oh, these are talking about, right? And this more is prolific, so he's gonna have to have a few of these, right? That's another topic, and actually I think I'm getting into that in this one. So what have you been reading? Probably a lot. So if, like I said, I was about to say, if you see, oh, look at my notes or my books, right, or my clippings, look at that, and I notice the pattern that they're speaking on, fill in the blank, right? But there's a whole lot of it, so I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on and on, right? In that case, that's an anthology. All right. I would say series, but like I was saying with Brother Kush, but if it's studied, if it's studious and well researched, no, it's an anthology. Go ahead and class it up, right? So in that case, fine. You got an anthology, pick the first one you want to work on. All right. So again, what is it that you simply must speak on? And you know what that is, that feeling. It's something pushing or pulling at you, right? That's the one. You'll know it. It probably glows, right? You keep thinking about it. It won't let you go. That one, right? Um, you want something that you want to resonate throughout the generations, because it's a book. It's going to be in printed word. So there's going to be a record of it. Even if the book disappears, at least until the last person that read it dies, that folks can hear about it, right? Right? Probably beyond that, because it could become oral history. But let me not keep going. So in that, I mentioned that to say, please exercise caution, you know, as far as what you're picking as your topic. I bring that up because of the authors on those, you know, at their time, well respected and peer reviewed and, you know, highly regarded books written about how genetically superior, how much more genetically superior the Caucasus Asians were than the Negroes. All right, so be careful. It survives the ages, right? So, as far as if you have notes, where are they leading you, right? Um, I know that sounds hokey as far as where are they leading you. Um, and as if it wouldn't work. Uh, it's not that it wouldn't work. I would say it probably wouldn't work for, I'll say, the beloved of Allah, right? The beloved, you know, whom Allah has loved. So, Muslims, all right? Muslims are the will of Allah, right? This might get little lofty for some people. So, just bear with me, please. So, Muslim is a submitter to Allah. Islam, good for y'all. Muslim is the will of Allah, right? So, if you want to think of it in a anthropomorphic way, right? Your finger, right? You're here to fulfill a mission, right? Can you imagine if your finger was trying to do what it felt like? It's going to get in the way of the mission that you have for it, right? So, if you would get out of your own way, your mission will progress more smoothly and with less pain and with less confusion, because you got out of your own way, right? I say that's why I bring up, if you have notes, where are they leading you? Just get them together, right? And just look at them, right? This is what I told Kush Day. I know it sounds weird, right? It might not, because some of you know what I'm talking about. I don't even have to explain it to y'all, right? So more, stack your references and your resources, right? All the materials, including more than just books, like I mentioned, that you know will support your presentation. And then just look at them, all right? And wait and see if they don't begin to tell you or instruct you yet again, because you already looked at them once before. That's how they made the list, right? You know who you're looking at and who you're dealing with. So don't be surprised if they start teaching you again. Like, you're going to look at that, you just going to look at it, and then something going to jump out. You probably had this already happen to you, right? It's, I guess, I don't know what to do should be your mantra. I don't know what to do. That will help you get out of your own way. I don't know. Just admit it. I have all of this information in front of me. I know that it's valuable. I do know that. But I have no idea what to do. I surrender. I let go. I let God. Right? Oh, let me get that. That's a screenshot. Islam. All right. Anyway, It's your open that mantra, I don't know what to do. It's your open sesame to the mission that you feel physically, mentally, emotionally pulling at you. All right? I don't have to explain it. I won't explain it because it's a knowing, right? Moors don't really need secret societies. Moors have probably, I know I see it constantly. Maybe it's Islam. Maybe I'm gonna give it up to the Moors that I deal with on the regular. But I could just say a couple of words, they'll smile or get this look across their face, and I know I'm done. I don't have to go any further. They know exactly. They got everything out of a couple, maybe 3 words. All right. But I confirm it like, oh, you got it, right? Like, yeah, I got it. Don't assume everyone can do that. All right. Please use it to your advantage. Please don't use it for evil. All right. Anyway, so that's why I said I'm not going to explain it, because if you're more, you probably know what it is anyway, because that's probably how you ended up finding out that you were a more. Something wouldn't leave you alone. And next thing you know, you figured out who you, or um, uncovered who you are, right? It's unexplainable anyway. Like I said, it's a knowing. All right. So again, gather your resources, stack them up, however you can do that, and just look at them and see what pops. All right. All right. Choosing a topic. Please. You may wind up with more than one. Again, that's okay. That's what anthologies are for. All right. Series and anthologies. Choose one. Just one. You can make a list of all the other stuff. Like, I know I want to talk. Fine. Which one do you want to talk about the most right now? All right. Focus there, or you may never finish. All right. So much information. So much information is out there. Only to find out, okay, I'm going to just focus on this one thing. And then as you're looking into that one thing, you stumble on to another thing. Oh, there's another topic. It sure is. Stay right there. Stay in that lane. Become unreasonable with it. For real. Become stone. All right. You just want to focus on one. I'm going to use the Turban book that I'm currently working on as an example. All right. So, using the Turban book that is forthcoming. Okay. So, this is one page of it. All right. It's a book about turbans. All right. This actually leads into, this covers about a couple of things that I'm about to speak. I spoke on already in here. This will cover a couple of things I spoke on. So, I went past it. I'm gonna have to stop. All right. Islam. And we're back. Islam. Okay, so technical difficulties. I'm still learning this program, so please absolve me, Islam. So, I was speaking on an example of why you need to pick one topic and stick to it like concrete. All right. I'm currently working on a book about turbans. And as I mentioned before, when I said your topic may change, it's not the topic itself that will change. It will be how you approach the topic that may change. So, for instance, Grand Sheik Cujo Awol in Canaan/Canada sent me a turban book to work on, and it was supposed to be like a coffee table book, just something to thumb through and be like, oh, that's interesting, to trigger your genetic memory bank, so to speak. But as I was going through the book, I saw other approaches. I'm like, well, please excuse my child upstairs. Yes, it's a beautiful picture, but I can already hear the audience coming back asking, what's the title of this portrait? Who made it? When was it made? What was their nationality? So let me beat you to the punch. And while I was researching that information, I came across details about the pictures themselves, right? Um, Side note, this is why it's important to keep track of your sources. All right, so you can refer back to them, and the better organized you are with them, or the better you have them organized or cited, the faster and easier it is to find them when you need them. So, looking at this picture, for example. So this is one of numerous renditions of this scene that were painted around the same time. Wow, that's another topic. Why were so many pictures painted of this scene around around the same time, like within the same like 30, 40 years? Let me not tangent. Let me stick to the topic at hand, turbans. All right. So I'm looking through it, right? And I find an excerpt of speaking on the description of this portrait, right? I'm going to read it to you. So it says, 3 kings pay homage to the Christ child, who in turn makes a sign of blessing. Jesus Christ, his mother, the Virgin Mary, and Mary's husband, Joseph, have halos and wear simple garments, while the Magi are dressed in exotic clothing and jewels and bear exquisite gifts. Caspar, bearded and bareheaded, presents the Christ child with a rare Chinese cup made of delicate porcelain and filled with gold coins. Melchior, the younger, bearded king behind Caspar, holds a Turkish censer for perfuming the air with incense. On the right, Balthazar the Moor carries a covered cup made of agate. All right. So, just from that, I was just looking for, okay, who made this portrait that I'm going to put in this book about turbans? And now here I go. Okay, they're talking about garments and halos and containers and their contents. You see how all of these could be, I'm going off, nope, laser focus, right? Back. That's why I said it's so important to basically be fixated on your topic. All right. Because your topic itself is going to be enough to fill a book, which is how you got there in the first place. So be careful. Keep track of your sources. If you want to like take what are those? Let me grab this. Composition books, right? I always have a few of these just sitting around. Or tiny notebooks. I don't think, well, I have one of those sitting around. They're upstairs. Where you just like, okay, let me make sure to get back to that. But for now, let me focus on this, or I'm never going to get done. All right. I'm just going to have a whole bunch of works in progress. All right. So again, the flexibility part comes in with the scope, not the topic. All right. You can just laser focus. You're going to change how you approach it. All right. Again, like with this Turban book, it began as a book of images with accompanying quotes, but now it's expanded, Allah willing, to include a glossary and an instruction manual. All right. So, in closing, for now, choose one topic. You can take notes and, put up sticky notes or whatever, saying to get to this, but for now, choose just one. All right. Write that one on a note card or a big old post-it and just keep your eye on it. All right. Remain faithful, or you're never going to get done. All right. Because there's always more to do. And you can do that too. Just do one at a time. Think of each one as a stepping stone. Islam. All right. So with that being said, in closing, gratitude for your time. I really appreciate it. Right. Please visit me at califamedia.com. You can find all of my links at linktree/Califa Media. That's link, linktr.ee/Califa Media. All right. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace and love.